Okay then, so moving on to ride and handling. Obviously I spoke a bit about the tyres before, so you know about that. But I'll talk about these tyres that I have on now. So I have the 2014, as you can see there, Michelin and then Pilot Streets. These are the brand new spec. I've only had them on 3 months, 3.5 months maybe. I think it's 3 months, 4 months, something like that. And these tyres compared to last year's generation tyres are, they're brilliant, both in the dry and the wet. I've had no problems with them whatsoever. You won't be able to tell, I don't think, but no, you can't really tell at all. But I've managed to get my chicken strips all the way down. You know, I've wore the tyre in all the way down to the edge. I've not managed to get my knee down yet, but that just comes with, you know, your riding capabilities and your riding skill and experience and how well you are at riding through corners. But in terms of the tyres, they're just fantastic, both in the wet and in the dry. I've rode them in the wet quite many times because obviously, like I said, I commute daily, going to work and stuff. And I've never had a problem like I had on the old generation tyres, where when I'm going round and round about, you just can't feel anything at all, and it's just slippery. So yeah, then riding, handling, that's about the tyres. We'll talk about the comfort, because I suppose that comes under the riding, handling. For a super sport, I've got to say I've sat on the R6 and the R1, and for you people that are new to this bike is based on the Yamaha R6, and the seat height is actually a little bit like higher, a bit bigger than the R6. I'm not sure why, but it just is. So yeah, getting back, I've sat on the R6 and the R1, and I've got to say the seat and like the suspension and everything, it just seems a lot harder and stiffer. Whereas this, like, I don't know whether you'd be able to tell if as you can see, how soft that seat is. I mean, I'm not putting any pressure on at all there. It's just a really nice seat. So yeah, then when you're riding, like I was saying with the tyres, you can throw this bike around as much as you want. Obviously it's very light. Obviously there you go. That's how light the bike is. I've never really had like a moment where I've been in a corner and nearly lost it or anything. I have in the wet with the old tyres that I had on, and it was quite scary. It was like a MotoGP moment where you see them about to high side off the bike, but I kind of recovered it. I just let go of the throttle and it was like woof. But that's the only really issue I've had. But I think that was just down to the tyres. the tyres. But I think that was just down to the tyres. But yeah, for the bike's point of view, it's just great. You can just throw it around, and again, everyone I spoke to who've got a YZF R125 say exactly the same thing. It's just a lot of fun in the corners. Right then, so for riding and handling, again, you know, it's really good. I've never had much of a problem. And oh yeah, one thing I did want to point out. I'll get on it this side. Now, many of you probably don't know, I am quite tall. I'm 6'3" / 6'4". I don't really know. I'm like sort of 6'3.5". And to be fair, if you were getting this bike, I would recommend going and sitting on it, just like with every bike. You know, you may have seen my how-to video on how to buy a motorcycle, or how to choose the right motorcycle for you, I think it was, something like that. Just go and sit on it and make sure, obviously, you know, if you're my height, you've got no problem whatsoever, your feet touch the ground, you're not too big. And riding position, this is like my general riding position, like this. I'm not like bent over, like leaning for the handlebars, and I'm not obviously like, oh, scrunched up. It's just a nice, comfy, relaxed riding position. The pegs, I must say, are quite low. I don't know why that is. I know on the R6 and the R1 they're quite high up, whereas on the R125 they're really low. I don't know whether that's because this is made for like beginners and learners. I'm not too sure, but yeah, that's one thing I would point out, is the pegs are quite low compared to the R6 and the R1. So yeah, if you're small, if you're about 5'5", I don't know, you may be able to get it lowered. I'm not sure if you can get this lowered or not. I think you can, but you know, if you can't, then I'm afraid you're going to struggle. Your tiptoes are going to be like that on the floor whilst you sit on it and stopped at traffic. So yeah, that's general riding and handling. I've got to say, it's very good. I've never had a problem with anything, and it's a very, very comfy bike for a super sport. Okay then guys, so moving on to equipment. Now, in the brand new 2014 Yamaha YZF R125, the dashboard is different to the 2008 to 2013 model, but I'm just gonna show you the I'll tell you what, I'll just sit on it, it's easier. The dashboard on this model, obviously, with every 125, it's going to be basic really. You've got your neutral light up here, so in first gear, back into neutral. The neutral light, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, or you will actually. Indicator light, high beam, and then you might not be able to see these, but there's one there for like engine and just general engine problems and things like that. And then the temperature as well, so if the bike overheats, it tells you. Them lights, you know, fair enough, they're very good, but again, they're just, you know, the basic really. I expect them on most bikes. You've got your fuel gauge here, your speedometer, how many miles you've done. So as you can see, I've done 8,795 miles, and then you have two trips, your first trip and your second trip. And to reset them, I'll reset the second one. To reset them, you just hold it down and it goes back to 0. A feature that I didn't know that this bike had with the equipment on the dashboard is when you're running out of fuel, it gets down to 1, it starts flashing. It'll then come up with another trip, and it counts up to how many miles you have left. It's kind of like a reserve, I think it's called, which is quite handy really, especially if you know you're struggling to find a petrol station, and obviously you find one within the distance. So then guys, the only problem I have with the dashboard and the equipment that it comes with is it has no clock. Don't know what Yamaha were thinking, but you know, it's not a massive thing. It's just I miss like having a clock and knowing the time whilst I'm riding. So I just attached a little digital watch, waterproof, to there. It goes around well. So you know, if you're buying this bike, you know, be aware. I'm not sure whether the new spec 2014 Yamaha R125 has a clock. Not a clue. But this model doesn't. Another bit of equipment for you, the Brembo Brake. Obviously, Brembo reservoir, Brembo badge there on the front brake. I'll bring you down here. Brembo Gold. Got a dog barking at me. The rear isn't. The rear's just a normal standard brake, whereas the front is a Brembo. So just, you know, bit of information for you if you didn't know. It has a very good front brake, just like any other bike really. Most front brakes on bikes are really good. The back's good, but not as good as the front. So then, just to do a quick overview of the bike. I've had it a year and a month. I've never had a problem. If you're looking to buy one, by all means, go and look at it in the shop. Look at them on YouTube. Obviously, look at my other videos. There's other people as well who do videos of riding the Yamaha. There's such a fun bike. You can do so many modifications to it. The only problem I have is that it only has a 1 litre oil capacity. That's the only problem I have, guys. And you know, like I said, if you're gonna buy it, just be aware you're gonna have to change the oil every 1,200 miles, and it doesn't come cheap. You know, you're looking at around about £50, £60 from a Yamaha dealer. That's how much I pay anyway, just for an oil change, and then a service is roughly about £100 to £120. I've just got to say, I've had so much fun with it. I've never had a problem, but you know, it's just a fantastic bike. I'll take it for a quick spin so you can see, just in case you have never seen my other videos. Yeah, I'll take it for a quick ride so you can see. So obviously starting up. Now being a 125, she has not a lot of horsepower. She has 14.7, which for a 125 is good, but you know, it's not a lot. I'll just turn around here and head back. If you want, like, you know, if you want to see what the bike's like just riding in general, go and check out my other videos. I have done a 0 to 60 on this bike, full power and everything. The link's right here, so go check out that video if you want to see what it's like doing 0 to 60 on full power and what it sounds like and everything. But yeah, other than that, guys, I hope I've helped you out. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you are looking at getting a Yamaha YZF, then I hope, you know, this has helped your opinion. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have. So if you like the video, then obviously go and like, comment. If you haven't already, then please subscribe, because it helps me out a lot. And you know, I've got, like I said, tons of videos. I do vlogs, mainly vlogs, but I have got some fun how-to videos coming up. Obviously I've got a few there as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and as always, have a great day, and I shall see you in the next vlog. Cheers, guys.